Since the time of Ptolemy in 2nd century AD Egypt, men have wondered from where did the waters of the ancient Nile flow. The Victorian explorers attempted to solve what they called the last great geographical problem. John Hanning Speke traced a source to Lake Victoria, and Henry Morton Stanley sighted the Rwenzori mountain range from afar. But it took until 1906 for the summits of all the major peaks to be first climbed during the hugely successful Duke of Abruzzi expedition. In August 2007, a group of adventurers and mountaineers followed in the footsteps of these trailblazing explorers. In their quest to reach the mythical source, they trekked through deep jungle and swamp, over rocky defiles and across equatorial glaciers. This is a film of their experience in the remote heart of darkness. The journey began in Kampala, capital of Uganda, where the team assembled at the Speke Hotel. Named after the famous Victorian explorer himself, an impressive mural adorns the reception wall, showing Speke standing in front of Ripon Falls, the point at which the Nile exits Lake Victoria. We had a full day's drive ahead of us. Our destination was Kasese, a small town 180 miles to the west, near to the foothills of the Rwenzoris. That evening, as we became better acquainted with our fellow adventurers over dinner, a tropical storm rolled in. These occur frequently in Kasese and are fueled by evaporation from the wetlands of the Victoria Basin.
Okay. What's your name?
Brian Finlayson.
And where do you come from?
Edinburgh, Scotland.
Scotland. Scottish. Anything to say for this expedition?
Looking forward to the expedition. Hope to try and climb the peak.
Glad that you remembered your waterproofs.
Yeah, I'm very glad I remembered my waterproofs.
All right.
Thank you.
What's your name?
I'm Fu. I'm Scottish as well. Brian's son. I just want to start walking now, to be honest.
Not exactly.
Not right now.
All right. What's your name?
I'm Christian, I'm from Oxford and I'm here to climb Mount Stanley in Rwenzori.
Hopefully with good weather, eh?
Hopefully with good weather. Better than this.
I'm Jamie Davidson, I'm the token colonial of the group, I'm from Australia and just been to work in Uganda with.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Lurienne. I'm not going to tell you my age. I'm from Holland and I live in North Wales. Get back on the trip.
All right. What about you?
Hi, I'm Stuart Westfield. I'm from Portsmouth in the UK and I'm here to find the source of the Nile.
What about you?
I'm Adrian Blackmore, live in Somerset in England. I'm here trying to get to all these peaks out here. Weather permitting, obviously.
And to you now.
I'm honest, I'm from London. I'm here to climb the mountains as well.
I'm Rod, I'm from Wales. I wish I'd brought Wellingtons, a very large umbrella and a full-on wetsuit.
Bien voilà, le caméraman.
Soon afterwards, a lightning bolt tripped out the hotel generator. Was Kithasamba, god of the mountains, angered at our presence? We would find out in the morning once we started trekking. All expeditions into the Rwenzori from the Ugandan side start at the Mountain Services headquarters at Nyakalanjija. Here we hired specialist local guides and enough porters to support us for 12 days in the jungle. In the equatorial heat and high humidity, it was necessary to walk at a steady pace and stop to drink frequently. Our first river crossing was through a tributary of the Mbuku River. It is the Mbuku which drains most of the eastern Rwenzori watershed, eventually pooling into Lake Victoria. The western watershed is carried away by the Semliki River, which joins Lake Albert to the White Nile further north.
Greetings, fellow thrill seekers.
We camped at Nyabitaba Hut, situated on top of a huge lateral moraine, from where the glaciers have long since receded. Not far from Nyabitaba, a battered footbridge precariously spans the Bijuku. Our guide Joseph told us that it had only just been repaired when boulders carried by heavy flow during the last rainy season knocked over two of the steel stanchion columns. At 3,000 metres altitude, the trail twisted through a thick belt of bamboo. Competing for light, it grew to over 20 feet high. Beyond, the going became more boggy, and a misplaced footing was rewarded by sinking thigh-deep into the saturated peaty soil. As we trekked further up the Bijuku Valley, the god Kithasamba gradually revealed a lost world of exotic plants and tranquil lakes, forever surrounded in an amphitheatre of snow-capped peaks.
Might get a reception today, don't it?
Yeah, well, it looks nice. I think my message is supposed to
We
be
didn't
coming
really
in,
climb any mountains, it was all ladders.
Hello?
4,133.
Oh, very good.
Above the ladders of Groundsel Gully, we were free from the treacherous bog, but as we neared Elena Hut, our highest camp at 4,500 metres, water had frozen to hard ice wherever it had come into contact with the bare rock.
Hello, Joseph.
Yes.
Leader. Altitude 4300 mètres.
And it could be sunny. But when there is some snow,
Okay.
Joseph.
I got the wrong foot in front of me now. Through the hut.
Yeah. It's good. Open sight, I think.
Altitude 4482 mètres.
Occasionally, the mist parted to give tantalising views of the Mount Stanley Glacier. Here was the watershed. The source of the Nile lay only a few hours away. It was a cold, cramped night in Elena Hut. We set off at 1 a.m, climbing through the night, on onto the Stanley Glacier just as dawn broke.
Alec?
Yes.
Comment?
It's lovely. Sun's out. The snow line. It's good.
Rod? TV?
Bonjour.
So that.
This was it. We had reached the highest source of the Nile, a river which has flowed for 12,500 years, bringing life to the Victoria Basin, the Sudan and the Egyptian Delta. These waters have seen the passing of pharaohs, and for decades they evaded the best, most intrepid explorers that the Victorians could muster. Our expedition also intended to climb the main peak of Stanley, but in blessing us with a beautiful sunrise, Kitha had guarded against the jewel of the summit with a dangerously melting ice cliff, forcing us to turn back. A poetic reminder that our trailblazing heroes also didn't have it all their own way. We left the high-altitude rarefied air and descended to the tranquil waters of Lake Kitandara for a day of rest and recuperation, before following the course of the Mbuku River on the outbound trek.
Oh, it's getting better and better, you know. Glacier on Mount Baker. Who said there was no snow and ice on Mount Baker?
It's fallen the last 2 days, though, hasn't it?
There's a glacier up there.